4 years ago, the state wanted to take over zoning. 3 years ago, 2 years ago, every year, our legislators in Albany are always trying to grab zoning away from localities. This is like a continuing theme. New York City Democrats thirst to grab the power of localities throughout this region. And once again, this is where the legislation stems. We have both a separate Assembly bill and a Senate bill being sponsored by New York City ultra-liberal progressives who are just attempting to hijack local zoning from the municipalities. What we like to do is we like to go out to the community. We like to hear their voices. We like to make reasoned decisions. And all of our governments have done that on a regular basis, from the town of Hempstead to Oyster Bay to every single village. We listen to the constituents' concerns and we find a reasonable balance in any project we may or may not approve. We've done big projects in the town of Hempstead, like in West Hempstead, and we've turned down others in areas that there's been opposition. Why? We are respectful to the residents. Well, unfortunately, New York City progressives that are in Albany, in both the Senate and Assembly, are trying to hijack it once again. And we are calling on local residents, local municipalities, not only in Long Island, but across the state, to voice their opposition again.
Make no mistake, the proposed Social Housing Development Authority is definitely anti-suburb. First they called it accessory housing, then they called it faith-based housing. But let's call it what it really is: illegal and unfair. And don't get me wrong, we want affordable housing. We want options for our families and friends. And as Supervisor Clavin said, we're working for that. But it seems like, once again, Long Island is a target for an Albany one-size-fits-all bad idea. Nobody knows our neighborhoods better than we do. And nobody is more accountable to our residents than we are. So we reject tone-deaf plans that rob us of our right to govern ourselves and decide our own outcomes.
All of us feel the same way. We're under siege by another progressive scheme threatening our suburban sanctuary. They want to change suburbia and make it urban. People paid a lot of money for houses here throughout Nassau County and Long Island. They choose areas for their suburban lifestyle, for their school districts, and they want to change all of this. Albany's last proposals aim to establish a new housing authority and rip zoning away from our local control. This is a thinly veiled rerun of past attempts to morph our suburbs into congested urban sprawls. They talk about affordable. It is not affordable, because who ends up paying for all the infrastructure costs, improvements and expansion of school districts, and all that comes along with added population? The property taxpayers pay for it. You know, the facade may change, the language may shift a little bit, but make no mistake, this is an ill-conceived blueprint that keeps emerging from Albany. By taking away zoning power from us, they take away the voice of you, the residents, and that is a tremendous attack on democracy.
We love Malvern and our small little hamlet here on Long Island, and we too debate how we're going to grow and what we're going to look like in the next couple of years. And we have that debate going on right now in our village. But as Supervisor Clavin mentioned, it's done in our community, amongst our neighbors. We're not opposed to growth, but we promote organic growth, how we want to see our community developed, where we want to see parking placed, where we want to see stores, where we want to see multifamily apartments. These are important points that all of our residents need to know.
It should be of no surprise to anybody. They've tried this. This is the fourth year in a row. And what happens is, and they change the name, it's still the same game. The localities across not just Long Island, across New York State have spoken up and they're in opposition to it. Keep it local. Local zoning is the best zoning. Keep it local, not in Albany. That's it.